This bloodshed must end. This bloodshed will end.
He has been singularly focused on the threat of radical Islamic terrorism. He has never wavered from it.
How many more people need to die before the left and the mainstream media call out the root cause?
The political correctness that we experience here in America prevents us from holding the Muslim community responsible.
This isn't a war on Muslims, Christians. It's not a war on one religion. This is a war on terrorism. You're not going to hashtag these people away.
If you keep getting hurt by mosquito bites, at some point you decide to start killing mosquitoes.
We have to crush them in their heartlands.
We love you so much. If you like the way you look that much, oh baby, you should go and love yourself.
We went big with our new home. Welcome to Studio F. In the heart of Midtown Manhattan, it's Fox and Friends from Studio F.
2 floors.
Yep.
It's going to be great for our quads and our long-term cardiovascular conditioning, but I would like an elevator.
Why?
I mean, because I don't want to have to walk. We shouldn't have.
There
There's one floor.
There's one over there. Or you can take the stairs.
But the elevator's only used, it's like a dumbwaiter, right? You just got to keep on bringing.
Really?
Yeah. You know what they're called? I mean, you only bring up equipment with it.
There you go.
We're so excited. This is amazing. This was the election studio. It's huge. It's beautiful. We're upstairs on the 2nd floor. And then down there, we've got our living room and our kitchen. And if you're walking in front of Fox News on 6th Avenue, you can peek your head in.
Yep. We asked you what you thought, and we got an email from Norman who writes, "Your new studio is great, but after watching you for about 20 years, I would watch if you broadcast from a hayfield."
Oh, that's great.
So sweet.
We might be soon.
That's a great idea.
Well, she's not in a hayfield, but she is on the lawn, I believe. Kellyanne Conway joins us from the north lawn of the White House. There you go. Kellyanne, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Congratulations on your new crib. That's awesome.
Thank you very much. Of course, we've done some infrastructure work here at Fox with the new studio.
That's catching.
That's right. Today kicks off Infrastructure Week at the White House. Tell us a little bit about what's going on, because I know the first thing is going to be for the president to suggest to privatize the air traffic controllers.
It's really an exciting week, and thanks for giving it coverage. Nobody else seems to want to. Even last week, Secretary of Transportation Elaine Chao announced over $500 million in infrastructure investments at over 500 airports in this country, which of course enhances security, safety, convenience, improving our runways, improving, frankly, the protocols and the way that air traffic controllers speak to each other, the way that our nation's infrastructure works. And this is actually something that impacts real lives. You just don't hear about it because it's not in a tweet or it's not a snark that people on other networks can put against the president. But thank you for covering it, because when the president was running and when he was president-elect and now is president, he has made very clear his commitment to improving infrastructure. And Secretary Chow's been a leader here, too. They've been talking about the sort of Byzantine labyrinth permitting process we have in this country, the fact that we don't build anything anymore as a country, that our roads and our bridges are in disrepair. So it's just a very exciting thing that people will literally see the fruits of those promises beginning today.
Right, Kellyanne, the president tweeted the Justice Department should ask for an expedited hearing of the watered-down travel ban before the Supreme Court and seek much tougher versions. He also tweeted, in any event, we are extreme vetting people coming into the U.S. in order to help keep our country safe. The courts are slow and political. What is your reaction?
Well, the president has made very clear from the beginning of his candidacy and now his presidency, Ainsley, that his first duty is the safety and security of the American people. An attack on London is an attack on American values, and we stand with our allies there. But the president's frustrations really reflect the frustrations and the fears of many Americans and Brits and freedom-loving people all over the world who don't want this to be the new normal. There are 21 attacks in the last couple years that ISIS, really since Charlie Hebdo or so, that ISIS has claimed responsibility for, whether the attack 36 hours ago in London was ISIS directed or ISIS inspired, it remains the same, that terrorists have the upper hand in some of these situations where, whether they're children standing in line for candy after a Bastille celebration in Nice, or people just having dinner out in Paris or waiting for a concert to start, innocent people in Brussels, and of course in Manchester at a concert, and now in London. This cannot be the new normal. And this president got elected in large part because he was the tougher person on national security and defeating radical Islamic terrorism. He, of course, is willing to actually say the words. You name it and then you defeat it. Hillary Clinton referred to them as our, quote, determined enemies in her convention speech last July. And imagine if the mainstream media, every time they said Russia, said ISIS. Every time they said Twitter, said terrorist. How different it might be. Right.
Just speaking of Russia, the last week there was talk of setting up a quick reaction team with like a Russian group within the White House. Would be headed up by, I guess, the lawyer handling that for the president. Has any progress been made on that?
No, I would refer all questions about that investigation to the lawyer, Mr. Kasowitz. But in terms of a strategy to combat all the negative and the speculation and what the Washington Post even referred to, or somebody referred to this weekend as a nothing burger so far, all this speculation, maybe an outside group handles it, maybe inside. But look, this White House will continue to be on offense and defense. And offense includes shaming people or guilting them or telling them to be responsible by covering things like the infrastructure investment. What about last week? Secretary of the VA, David Shulkin, announced a new hotline here for veterans at the White House. These veterans can call in. It got very little coverage because it's a positive. But you know what, folks? The opposite of negative coverage is not just positive. The opposite of negative is relevant. And I am duty-bound to make sure that the American people are hearing all the positive things that are happening here on their behalf. And those are two very quick examples that actually happened on the same day last Wednesday. There are examples like that every single day. You know, at the beginning of every press briefing, Sean Spicer, our press secretary, and I'm sure Sarah Sanders today will do the same thing, they give a whole list of positive things that are happening, action that's being taken by the different departments and agencies. It gets very little coverage. So I'm hoping that people will cut out the middleman, go right to our website, watch these press briefings at the beginning as well, not just the combative Q&A, so they can learn exactly what's happening that has real people impact.
Good point. Well, so the White House, this White House is on offense. Meanwhile, the last White House is on offense against this White House. Susan Rice was on This Week yesterday, and she said that the president's temporary travel ban would actually lead to more trouble. Listen to this, Kellyanne.
There's really no evidence to suggest that by banning Muslims or banning Muslims from a particular set of 6 countries that we would make ourselves here in the United States safer. I think there's a very real risk that by stigmatizing and isolating Muslims from particular countries and Muslims in general, that we alienate the very communities here in the United States whose cooperation we most need to detect and prevent these homegrown extremists from being able to carry out attacks. They need to feel that they are valued and part of this challenge that we face together as a nation.
Kellyanne, it's not a Muslim ban.
That's right, and she knows better. Susan Rice reminds everybody that no one on TV is under oath. She knows better that it's not a Muslim ban, and I would say that her comments yesterday are just really parallel to the lies she told after the Benghazi attack, which took the lives of 4 innocent Americans. She, when she lied there that it was about a video, she knows it's not a ban against a certain religion. She knows very clearly that these are 6 countries that were identified by her Obama administration departments, and that these 6 countries do not have screening and vetting procedures in place that give us confidence that what's happening around the globe wouldn't happen here. The president has constitutional authority and he has statutory authority very clearly. Everybody go read the statute, 1188 U.S. Code 1182. Go pull it up today. Geek out with me. But read the statute. It very clearly shows the president has the authority to keep people out when, temporarily, when there is a reason. In this case, the reason is the lack of screening and vetting procedures from countries that harbor and train and export terrorists.
But Kellyanne, the 90 days would be up already, even if it was implemented as it originally was in the in the broader context? Have we made any progress in setting up a system that would help us stay safe with these 6 terror-laden nations?
This president and his national security team do feel like progress is being made. I mean, first of all, they're much more vigilant and serious about it than has been done in the past. And secondly, you see that these national security enhancements and even domestic security enhancements are responsible for everything from 60% decrease in illegal border crossings at the southern border to people feeling safer, to a lot of these would-be terrorists, I think, seeing what's going on here now and thinking thrice. But look, there's homegrown terrorists, there's people being radicalized on the internet. We're also, I know our national security team is very vigilant about working with the tech on tech procedures and protocols. Why? Because even one of these savage, evil murderers from Saturday night in London was reportedly, according to Telegraph UK last night, was reportedly called out by 2 neighbors as being radicalized. His friend reported him to the authorities by saying, my friend is radicalized. He's been watching YouTube videos and he's radicalized. A different neighbor said that this savage murderer, now dead, was trying to radicalize her 3 small children at a playground.
Yeah, Kelly, the president is saying he's trying to prevent a terrorist attack here or another one from happening here. He wants to keep families safe. He's going to eradicate ISIS. But then you have Thomas Roberts, who is one of the journalists at MSNBC. He's suggesting that the president is trying to provoke terrorism here. Listen to this.
The president doesn't want us to be politically correct, right? So let's not be PC about this. Is the president trying to provoke a domestic terrorist attack with this Twitter rant, because only to prove himself right?
What's your reaction to that?
Well, does he have a job today? I mean, that is really over the top, even by those standards. Think about what he said. And think about the accusation he's making. In other words, I was asked on the flagship show on NBC earlier today if the president should apologize to the mayor of London. And this man is suggesting what he suggested. I won't repeat it because it's so defamatory. But you know what? This president should apologize for what? For trying to keep us all safe and secure? For what? For calling out radical Islamic terrorism for what it is? For saying last night at Ford's Theater, where I was there in the room when he said, we will stand with the UK and the bloodbath stops. We will bring to justice the perpetrators and we will become more vigilant. And again, an attack on the UK is an attack on us. But look, for people on TV to be saying what they're saying, a CNN anchor yesterday calling the president an expletive, Kathy Griffin, also of CNN, doing what she did last week, which is really over the top, and then blaming the Trump family. I mean, people are really losing their minds over this presidency instead of trying to cover the things that he's doing to help all Americans and really coming together. Let me tell you something. Defeating terrorism and putting ISIS truly in retreat and eliminating them from the face of the earth should be a nonpartisan issue in search of bipartisan support. And when you hear things like that and people still keep their jobs, it's truly remarkable.
All right. Kellyanne Conway joining us from the North Lawn on this, the Monday of Infrastructure Week at the White House. Kellyanne, go get your hard hat. You got a busy day building stuff.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kellyanne. Great to see you. The video is insane. A man jumps inside a moving car. The reason why and what happens next, we'll tell you.
Plus, remember this campaign promise?
You're going to win so much, you may even get tired of winning. And you'll say, please, please, it's too much winning.
Governor Mike Huckabee says President Trump has been winning since he took office. So why is no one talking about that? He will next. Plus, we have David Bossie and
Congressman Jason Chaffetz this hour, Fox and Friends, live from our new home.